What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Superhero Central. Today we are bringing you the Superior Iron Man origin story, one of Tony Stark's darkest versions of Iron Man. And not just Iron Man, but Tony Stark himself in this storyline is very, very dark. There's a possibility that Superior Iron Man could be appearing in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, as we have seen Ultron bots in the trailers. The speculation right now is these Ultron bots are controlled by a Tony Stark who, in one universe, a different one from our main MCU timeline, got what he wanted, a suit of armor around the world, and his Ultron program worked. So today we're going to talk about just who Superior Iron Man is in the comics. We are first introduced to Superior Iron Man in November of 2014, so fairly recent. In Axis, there was a battle with multiple superheroes fighting Red Skull. Iron Man was a part of this fight, but two key superheroes were Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch that spawned Superior Iron Man in this battle. The two cast a spell at Red Skull to switch his moral compass from bad to good, but a specific consequence of the spell that they didn't foresee was that part of the spell rebounded and hit Tony Stark. This had the opposite effect on him. Since he was already good, he turned bad. So yes, Superior Iron Man was born from that spell, which 180'd him from superhero to super villain. He isn't the oldest variant out there, but he sure does make a huge impact with his huge new ego. Now you might be thinking Tony Stark already has a pretty big ego, and of course you'd be right in thinking that. However, when he got hit with the spell to knock off his moral compass, it took his pride to a whole different level. We're talking about over 9,000. He's an extremely cocky person from even regular Iron Man's perspective. Now, with his new traits of being a complete narcissist comes a new set of armor. He ends up creating the symbiote metal armor known as the Endosym. And here there are a couple of huge differentiators with this set of armor compared to a standard Iron Man set. Okay, we can point out the obvious first. Clearly his colors are different from the traditional red gold feel. Now it's silver/chrome with blue/red highlights. It definitely gives me more of a sleek vibe than anything to me, but doesn't his suit look like we've seen something similar before? And that's because we have. Since it's basically a symbiote, it's pretty much the same as Venom. So instead of Tony putting his armor on piece by piece, this armor latches onto him in a leech-like form. But one of the amazing things about this armor is that Tony controls it with his mind at will. This gives him the advantage of complete flexibility when it comes to fighting in a variety of forms. I would imagine fighting Superior Iron Man would kind of be like fighting a more controlled, a more intelligent, and outrageously prideful version of Venom. With that being said, to sum up, his Endosym suit is no joke. Now, moving on to the actions of Tony Stark when he is Superior Iron Man. He eventually develops an app, Extremis 3.0, that everyone downloads in San Francisco. Now, what this app does that Tony created is it alters the appearance of the individual who uses it to their very best form. To put it plainly, it makes them very hot. Compared to people that Photoshop their bodies online in pictures to where it actually doesn't look anything like the real person in real life. Tony basically gave people Photoshop off screen in real life, and all they needed was his app. But just like people online who could potentially become obsessed with morphing their body, the people of San Francisco needed this in their life and could not fathom a life without their perfect picture appearance, and they became addicted to it. But of course, Superior Iron Man had ulterior motives, and this was in his grand plan to make an insane amount of money when he made the app cost $99.99 after their initial trial run was over. And as you can imagine, this did not affect the people of San Francisco in a positive way, and people started to go crazy, all because of Tony's app. Now, the consequences of Extremis 3.0 put Superior Iron Man on the map for Daredevil. Unfortunately, this doesn't end well for Daredevil, as he is no match for Superior Iron Man, and he loses to him. However, in return, he actually gains something he had once lost before: his eyesight. This act that Tony did was atrocious considering the damage it had done to Daredevil, but Daredevil would have not gained his eyesight back forever. It would later be taken away from him again, to his dismay. Now from here, Tony Stark as Superior Iron Man pretty much rules San Francisco. He would continue to be the most prideful person in San Francisco, and he wanted to always be in the know, so he created drones to keep tabs on everyone, to make sure he was never out of the loop. to say the least. Now, egomaniac, San Francisco ruling superior Iron Man and Tony Stark would eventually be confronted by many different superheroes and eventually taken down to finally humble levels where he gained back his old moral compass. But superior Iron Man was by far one of the most evil different versions of Tony Stark that we've seen. And let me know what you think about this version in the comments down below, and maybe we'll see him in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to get future videos. And as always, we appreciate you stopping by the channel.